Hey, what's up? It's Nathan from Gotcha SEO Academy. And in this lesson, I'm going to show you why link relevancy is so important for your link building efforts. And also, I'm going to show you how to use a relevancy pyramid so that you can prioritize all of your opportunities and get the most out of your efforts. So let me start by saying that getting relevant backlinks, which means getting links from sites that are similar to yours, is the most important element of successful link building. It not only is the most effective link building strategy, but it's also the best way to stay safe from penalties as well. So I don't want you to just take my word for it. I also want to show you what ex-Google employee Andre Wayher said about relevancy. And so this is what Andre said. He said, not only this, but take PR, and he's referring to PageRank, for example. Getting a link from a high PR page used to always be valuable, but today, it's more the relevance of the site's theme in regards to yours. Relevance is the new PR. And so if you're newer to SEO, PR and PageRank used to be what a lot of SEOs would use to determine the quality of link opportunities. But Google hasn't updated the PR metric in years. It is not a relevant metric to be using to qualify link opportunities. And so instead, it's far more effective to qualify your link opportunities based on relevancy. And so everything you're going to be learning in this module is going to show you how to find all of these relevant opportunities. And so once I show you all of these different ways for finding these relevant link opportunities, you're going to need a way to prioritize all of these opportunities that you have. And so that's when the relevancy pyramid comes into play. So the relevancy pyramid is a strategy that I created and also a phrase that I coined because I was so frustrated with trying to prioritize all of my link opportunities. And so then what I realized is that I need to focus on the opportunities that are 100% relevant to my website before moving on to any other opportunities. And so this is how the relevancy pyramid works. So naturally, you're going to have far less opportunities that are 100% relevant to your site's theme. And so, for example, there are only going to be so many SEO blogs or things even more specific like link building blogs. And the more niche you go, the less opportunities there are going to be. So with that said, what you want to do is you want to tap out all of those 100% relevant opportunities before you move down the pyramid to less relevant opportunities. And the reason for that is quite obvious because those opportunities that are 100% relevant are going to be your most powerful link opportunities. And so to stick with this SEO-based example, let's say I tapped out all of my opportunities that are 100% relevant to Gotcha SEO. Well, the next thing I want to do is I want to start looking at opportunities that are a little bit broader. So maybe I would branch out into the internet marketing space. And so then what I want to do is try to acquire as many backlinks from internet marketing-based blogs before moving on to the middle part of the pyramid. And so then after I've tapped out all the internet marketing-based blogs, then I maybe want to go into just pure marketing blogs. And then after that, I'd maybe go into business-based blogs. And then the last stage, which would probably be almost 0% relevancy, I may want to target finance blogs because there is a monetary component to SEO because when you do get better SEO results, you do make more money for your business. I could definitely swing the relevancy to get a link on a finance blog and it would still be appropriate because it is loosely relevant to my website. And so naturally, there are going to be far more opportunities that are not relevant to your website that you can pounce on. But just keep in mind, it's far more effective to focus on the most relevant opportunities and then work your way down. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me, for example, getting a link from a finance blog because it is closely related, but it would make no sense for me to get a link from a blog about cats or a blog about dog training. It would make no sense at all. And so you want to avoid the completely off the wall relevancy links and just focus on ones that even if they're just slightly relevant, they can work. But like I said, focus on the ones that are most relevant first and then work your way down to those ones that are very loosely relevant. And the reason why I'm hammering this point is because it's so incredibly important. And a lot of SEOs skip out on this little tactic, but just focus on the relevancy. And I promise you, you will see great results from your link building efforts. And so there's not an exact science to using this relevancy pyramid. It's just more of using your best judgment. But I will tell you that I do use a slight grading system with my link opportunities. So for example, if a link opportunity is 100% relevant to my website, then I'd probably give it a 5 and then work my way down. 4 is a 75%, and then 3 is a 50, and then 2 would be 25, and then a 1 would be almost 0% relevancy to my website. And so you don't have to use an exact system like that, but that's just a very simple way for you to prioritize all of your opportunities. And so the last element of link relevancy that I want to show you is about page level relevancy. And so the relevancy pyramid mainly applies to domain level relevancy. But what I want to show you right now is how to get the most out of your page level relevancy. And so the best way to do this is just for me to show you some examples of what you should and shouldn't do. And so this first example is the most effective and most relevant link opportunity that you can get. So for example, you're going to have a creatine blog plus a creatine article, which links to your article about creatine. This is by far the most relevant link you could ever get. Now, is this going to be possible? Probably not. But I just want to show you what the perfect link looks like so you do have an idea of what that is. And so this second equation here is far more likely to happen when you're acquiring links. So you're going to have a creatine blog that publishes an article that's generally about fitness, and then they link to your article about creatine within the fitness blog. So basically what's happening here is that they're just referencing your article about creatine in their general fitness article. And the opposite can be true as well. So for example, a general fitness website publishes an article about creatine and then links to your article about creatine for more information. And then you can even take the relevancy down a notch and just have a general fitness website that publishes a general article about supplements and then links to your creatine article for more information about creatine. And so this second equation is going to be the most common, and this is not exactly how it's going to be all the time, but this is pretty close to what it's going to look like when you get a high quality link. Very rarely are you ever going to get the first equation unless you're creating a private blog network where you have all the control. But when you're doing legitimate outreach and you're getting real backlinks, it's very rare that you'll ever get that first equation. And so this third equation, which I don't know why this would ever happen, but let's say, for example, a creatine blog published a cat training article and they decide to link to your creatine article. Well, this would be very ineffective. And the only reason why it would have any positive effect is just because of the site and domain level relevancy of the linking website. And so you would not want a link from a cat training article because it just doesn't have the relevancy that you need for it to be effective. And it's probably more on the dangerous side more than anything. And then, as I mentioned before, this fourth equation is pretty much the worst case scenario. You're getting a completely irrelevant link. And so you just want to avoid that equation altogether. And so that is all there is to link relevancy. And now I just want to cover one more thing, and that is the strength of your backlinks. And so there are a few ways to measure the strength of your backlink. And since PageRank is no longer a viable option for measuring the strength of a backlink, we have to use third-party metrics to get a general idea of how strong all of your link opportunities are. And so the first third-party metric you can use is trust flow, which comes from Majestic. The second is domain authority, which comes from Open Site Explorer, or also Moz. The third is domain rating, which comes from Ahrefs. And the fourth is traffic cost, which comes from SEMrush. And so since all of these metrics are different in their own ways, what you should do is use all four of them to make sure that you're getting the best links possible. And so just keep in mind that if you're focusing on relevant link opportunities, and then also those same opportunities have the link strength based on one of these four third-party metrics, then you're in a very good position to acquire a great backlink for your website. And so that is all there is to link relevancy and link strength. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.